my YouTube has been so laggy recently. Can I really go through that many? Oh, I guess I did some Tob a few days ago. I was like, there's no way I burned through that many. One HP. How's it going, Thomas? Oh, my leg. We did an oopsie there. Humble Blood Fairy? Nope, of course not. Kind of trolled that monkey room, but it's fine, I guess. You still Red X Baba with damage reduction? Yeah. Of course. There's no reason not to. Because I don't do 6-tick Red X anyway, so I'm already not losing DPS. This will just make me take even less damage. Like here, I'm not losing ticks. So it doesn't make sense for me to not Red X. You know. Oh, there I lost a tick, but I would just take less damage than I currently do even, which would be nice. Well, Casey, do you think you'll get your shadow? Where are you at right now? What the fuck? That's the most bullshit thing I've ever seen. Oh! I got hit by 2 explosions. I should have saved on my prayer. Oh damn, that was like a really, really fast Baba too. That sucks. Could have been like a PB. Feel like that. 120? What kind of invos you doing? You doing like 400s, 300s, 540s? What are you doing? Depends. This will affect my guess. $300s? Dude, it's gonna take you forever. It's gonna be like 380. Will you still red X Baba after changes? Yeah, absolutely. Makes no sense not to do 5 to 1 if you know it already. I used to face tank 525s, which is, I guess, would again be possible, but there would just be no reason not to do 5 to 1 if you know it. It's the same DPS as face tanking, except you take like an eighth of the damage. So you should have said this next, Casey. Hey, you said 300s. I gotta give you an honest like evaluation based on your drop rate, you know. If you said like 200, you get an X, Casey. But you said 300, so you're in the next tax bracket. You will reap no rewards. It is what it is. That's how 300s work. You gotta be in the 250 range to be eligible for Shadow. Ah, misclicked. Oh, so you get not paying attention for a second. Oh. Today is not the day. Dude, I messed up my switches so bad somewhere. I think I can run walk the path without having to prayer flick. Yeah, absolutely. It just depends on like your setup and like what you got going on. Gotta be more careful. I gotta pay attention more. I went to glance at chat right when I blowpiped the cursed, and instantly when I looked away, I started getting dragged. I would put them up, but I don't know how to prayer flick, and I don't know if I can put them up. You probably could, but you need to just make your setup different, probably, to account for extra prayer. Nothing crazy about it. I have a recent video of a 445 while flicking at all, and there are some rooms that are definitely easier to flick than others. Like Zebak and Kephri, easy to flick, and then I know people don't like Kephri for some reason to flick, although I think it's one of the easiest rooms to flick. But Zebak is also really easy. Excited for the Tome of Earth? No. I mean, I don't really care. It doesn't affect me. I'm probably never gonna use it. New boss drops are disappointing. Yeah, but they're not geared for us. They're geared for the mid-level player. We are not the target audience. I'm not done with the Coliseum yet. Just taking a break from it. This is kind of boring to do the same content for forever. Oops. Every day I become stronger at the monkey room. But drop invos down to 250 to get a better chance. No. That is a meme. I was just memeing because I feel like every time I see someone do low invos, they're blessed with like crazy RNG. I just don't know where I would ever use the Tome of Earth, to be honest, is the problem. You know, they said they don't want fire to be the base element to use for everything, but from a high-level player perspective, every relevant elemental weakness is going to be for fire. Ice Demon, Nightmare Pillars, Kephri, it's all going to be fire weakness, right? So yeah, it turns out they rebalanced it and then made it fire anyway. So I don't really see how that's changing anything. Why the one tile step under? Because you stall Baba's attack by a tick like that. By stalling her a tick, you can squeeze in an extra attack. Instead of making a 5-2, you make it a 5-1. Ow. Whoa. Did I lose a tick there? I did not see where the rocks were. The rubble. It'd be cool if they've changed Baba mechanics to something like Soul. I don't think Baba would be the appropriate boss to do it in the same way. I think Akkha would be better. Akkha has actually a lot more like annoying melee chip damage, and the problem I think with like Baba, whether you're someone in like max gear ToA or whatever, you're gonna be, if you're being efficient, tanking Baba's melees anyway. Whereas with Akkha, you know, if you have a shadow, you just butterfly and don't do any of the melee stuff. I feel like giving Akkha the soul mechanics would be better for the player base as a whole, because the majority of the player base doesn't own a shadow, so they don't have access to butterfly, and I think giving them dodgeable melees would be more important there. If I had to pick one, I think Akkha would be more important. I think Baba's melee is fine once they nerf it. They just need to make the rest of the mechanics a little bit more fun. You know, like the rubble and stuff like that. I think rolling boulders is okay, but rubble is like a really boring mechanic. The sarcophagus and the monkey are very boring as well, because although they only have 35 HP, it's actually kind of inconsistent to kill one before they pop open a sarcophagus. And it's not like you can reclose the sarcophagus or anything if you wanted to. Not like you can ice barrage it to like cool it down or something. I feel like Baba is a fight that you kind of just melee here and ignore the rest of the mechanics in the room, which I think is boring. Other than the rolling boulders. I don't think giving her dodgeable melees will solve everything. Not my best one. I missed a few. A little bit unlucky on the bounces. I should have targeted left side bounce instead of going for right side bounce. Also chinned a little bit too early when I should get blow piping. Oh, some tick loss here. I just remove butterfly. I mean, I think butterfly is kind of cool, but yeah, like ultimately, I don't think it's too healthy for the game. It's too hard to balance around without changing invocations. Still just have to change invocations to make it a thing. You find butterfly fun? Yeah. Like, I enjoy it as well, because it kind of feels like running home head. But it is, like, aids to balance. If you remove it, people are going to complain. I think it's best just to give the people who aren't able to butterfly another solution. Which is why I think Akkha, if you were going to give, like, soul-like mechanics, should be the one to get it. To allow people who are, like, you know, doing, you know, like face tank with trident, you can let them just dodge melee attacks instead. It'd be more fun anyway. Oh, Heretics lost. Yeah, you really do see how broken butterfly is. Just because like one person has it as a shadow, it just warps the raid. Dare I say, the fact that you can move 2 tiles on butterfly is what makes it easy. If you had to actually click every single tile like how the method was originally made, then I think it would be perfectly balanced. But right now it's too easy for too much reward. You know, obviously there's like learning tick perfect stuff, but that the fact that you can just kind of like be kind of bad at it and still get most of the reward is kind of crazy. Back in the day, you had to like click every tile, then click Akkha, click every tile, then click Akkha. That was hard, and I think it warranted it. But now that it's like click 2 tiles, attack, click 2 tiles, attack, then yeah. Isn't Tbow the major here a lot better than Fang? Especially not with these switches, but the problem is you're not looking for DPS, you're looking for consistency. Tbow doesn't offer consistency, so it's like, even if I had a full switch range, I think that's only something you really consider in like a big team, where it's fine to do it, and you don't want to lose any ticks chasing it around. When you're in a solo, you're looking for max consistency, and they're close enough. Like, Tbow's better until you whiff twice and then die. That makes sense. Hopefully we can remove red X then. You know, I do think 6-tick red X is really boring, but I do think 5-to-1 is actually really fun. I hope they do. If they do end up nerfing, oh, I procced. Nerfing Baba, so I hope they kind of keep red X as like an option. Because 5-to-1 is fun. 6-tick is boring. That's why I would also like Rubble to be kind of like revisited, because you lose ticks doing 6-tick you lose ticks doing 6-tick red X, but it's profitable for the teams because people lose ticks when they have to deal with the Rubble mechanic, and I think that's hella cringe because it encourages people to do 6-tick red X. Now I'm kind of hoping that the ranged rework makes it so like ZCB is even better than Bofa, because then you won't lose ticks. Not Bofa. ZCB would be better than Fang is what I'm hoping for at Baba. because then you won't lose ticks doing boulders, and that would be great. Not boulders, what the heck, rubble. Because then people would be encouraged to learn 5 to 1, whoever's tanking, and then other people can do ZCB and chill. Double trouble tips. Yeah, I can give you one in a second. Hold on, or maybe at the end of Akkha, because it's kind of hard to explain while I'm fighting. I'm gonna lose a tick there. No shot. Honestly, I can't really complain. The fight was kind of going hard until it wasn't. Oh, I get slapped there. Humble. Don't worry, I'm not going to give you the age-old advice of move 2 tiles. Although that does help, for sure. I'll just explain, give you some tips on like how to get to the center. Techniques I use, at least, to get to the center. But let me just wait until the fight ends, because I don't want to die. Oh, when did I equip my Seercull? I'm gonna drop the ego and heal. Again. Bruh. So, when I like to get to the middle for double trouble, I don't just like click wherever. Sometimes I'll just kind of wing it and like move far and stop myself. So I'm always like, if you see him when I click far, I'm kind of like ready to stop myself like that at any point, because that's how you move 2 tiles. Now, if you want to get to the center easily, oh, I'm not in a party. If you want to get to the center really easily, what I like to do is find whatever quadrant I'm closest to. So if I'm in the black quadrant, I'll click one of the butterfly attack tiles, And then as soon as I land there, I'll just click the symbol. Always works like this. Easiest way to get to the center. And then from there on out, you can just pick whatever's like next to you, you know, bang, 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 or any kind of order. From there on out, I just know the mechanics, so sometimes I'll move 1, sometimes I'll move 2. You can probably just move 2 every single time, but just be very mindful. It always places the orb, you know, in front of where you land. At that point, I just know the mechanic, so I don't really have any tips other than just know the mechanic. You can just move 2 every single time. I just think it's kind of hard to... I personally find it easier just to know the mechanic and deal with it. I was yapping so long, my adrenaline's gonna run out. Oops. Oh well. We don't need that. Yeah, if you only get 4 memories, it gets kind of annoying because the nice thing about Pathfinder and like a level 3 plus Akkha is that you always end up having enough time that the thing kind of like runs out on you. Whereas if you have like a level 0 Akkha, you know, 0 or 1, the thing doesn't last very long, and you have to end up still dealing with the little orb special while you're like leaving memory. It's kind of annoying. I don't need to flake, I have like a billion restores. .65 Vardorva's no axe piece. Ew. Is that your last piece? If it's your last piece, you can't give up. You know how it is. You've already sunk the cost into your fallacy. Three altars? Hey man. Are you an Iron Man or something? Trying to get it? Or just as a message, kind of want to green log the boss pretty much. Just an artistic main. Hey man, I completely respect that. Sometimes you just want to try to, you know, get as many, basically green log the boss. Oh, wasn't paying attention. Four Leviathan pets, goddamn. Yeah, I had a weird situation where I got all the axe pieces before seeing any rings at all. I believe my Seercull hit a 5 on me, SMH, on a level 5 juicer Zebak. I'll be here forever. $18. Did I not pray against the Blood Barrage, or... must have messed something up. No one saw that. How's it going, doggo? Thanks for answering my questions last vid. No problem, man. I am terminally online when it comes to YouTube comments. Mostly because most of the videos are informative, so I try to be on top of it. Hey, thank you so much for the membership. Welcome. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. That one will tank on purpose. That's about what I expect for level 5 with a low Seercull. Can't drink this or this. Stayed here after the second. Oh, leave Augury on. After the second altar. I got Infernal and Max Melee, I don't know where else to go with it. Besides top, I was just about to recommend top. I was like, Bone Dagger W. You know the funny thing is, if you hit like a 1 with the Bone Dagger, if you hit like a 1 with the Bone Dagger, you're in the exact same boat where you're just super depressed with all your range switches. Except you also can't restrain either. Exact same situation, it sucks. Although now you're also down to restores, I guess. You bring Megas, yeah. It's a L either way when you whiff these Seercull Bone Daggers. It sucks. Every 2 seconds saved with the firmly grasp it. This is more comfy for you, not doing the 6-way range. Yeah, it is. Well, BGS would not be worth it at all with the setup, just because we have overly draining on. But the 6-way is worth. I just can't be asked to flick as much at Zebak and Kephri. With the current setup, I don't really flick too much at either, or sweat too much. Same thing for Baba and Monkey Room. By having these restores, we're kind of just chilling. If you rewind it, you'll see that I also, hold on, firmly grasp it. You'll see that I let my magic drop to 123, because that's because you can still get the 84 max hit. Whereas if you do the range setup, you can't go power life, because the second your range drops to 124, you lose 2 max hits. So it's kind of cringe. I mean, I could go double power to make up for it, and that's what I would have to do with the ZCB. But then I would be down restores by quite a bit. Is Warden on P4, P3 worth it? I actually haven't done the math on it. People do it. I don't know if it's worth it. But you know what? I'll do it. But I really don't know. Is this less? Obviously, it's way less damage than the average shadow hit. The question is, does it improve your accuracy by a noticeable amount where it's more worth it? I'm gonna guess probably is, but I don't know. I really don't know. I'm gonna put on Berserk before I forget. Can someone explain Death Charge? Monster die, you get 15% spec. Sometimes random shit like core and stuff counts as a monster dying. Pretty much it. You cast it, kill monster, get 15% spec. Simple as that. The in-game description is actually very accurate. Was that Seercull used at the spec used at the start? That was Seercull. It drains the magic level of whatever you hit. I use it on Zebak mostly, but some people say it's worth P3. I'm not really sure if it is. It didn't seem like an amazing DPS increase, but I guess it really builds up since you do it for so long. I mean, I'm going hard for this one. Is it on G? Yeah, you can buy Seercull off G. Dude, it's like it's 41k, a whopping 41k. You gotta use amethyst arrows, it's a little annoying. Oh, let me save your eardrums. Better than the Scepter? Yeah, Scepter's hot garbage. I used to use Scepter, but that's because it used to roll off 0 Invocation monsters, so it would have like 95% accuracy for this guy and like 75% plus accuracy. Well, maybe not 75, but 70% plus accuracy at Zebak. They shadow nerfed it, or I guess put it back to how it was supposed to work, sometime around release of Leagues 4, and it's been trash ever since. Like, I would never bring it anymore to any place. Maybe I would use it on Olm Hands if it's like a really big mass. But otherwise, it's trash. A Coliseum pet? Not yet, no. I'm just taking a break from it because I'm kind of bored of it. Use Tbow or Shadow at Zebak? Shadow. The whole point of bringing Seercull is so that I can make Shadow kind of okay there. If I don't bring Seercull, Shadow's pretty bad there. The 6-way range with Bone Dagger is somewhat competitive with Mage, but you lose a lot of restores doing it, which is why I don't bring it. I spent too much time yapping at Akkha. So I'm gonna be not unsalted, but I'll be low salted. Seercull doesn't fire dragon arrows? Nah. I got mid-tier bow, so it doesn't really shoot as much. We'll dodge another one. Yeah, a lot of the common questions you'll ask about these high invo raids probably are in the video description. Yo, if you hit a 0 on Zebak, can you respec? Yeah, if you hit a 0, you can respec. If you hit a 1, you can't, so it's actually better to hit a 0 than to hit a 1. Oops. Thought I clicked it. That was one of those moments where I clicked it in my mind. Same thing for this, store. Clicked it in my mind. $941. Maybe Seercull is worth. How's ToA been going? Just a bunch of fangs. Not been amazing. Can I show you the loot tab? Yeah, sure. Just give me a second. This is our loot tab looking. 7.1 bill. It's actually more than that because, you know, the majority of these fangs sold for a lot more than that. But I think for all these Masori pieces and whatnot. I probably have like 11 of these fangs that were sold at like 80 mil plus. I'm gonna guess I made somewhere around 10 bill from ToA. Slow monkey room. Blood Amy worth using at 400? If you're a main, yeah. If you're an iron, I'd say probably not. In like a wet noodle for this one. I was grossly unprepared for this scenario. Ouch. Let's go. Yeah, 5-to-1 Bob is really fun. Where do I learn what you're doing? You can learn here. If you see when you're red Xing, you want to like shift click under him. Well, for P3 is a little bit different. It's not really 5-to-1. I have some my 540 commentary has a little bit of a small explanation on it. There's a text guide. There's a text guide, as well as text guide in the description if you want to read it and how it works. It's the most in-depth guide I have on it. Guides for specific invocations. Right now only for feeling special. But no. I mean, you don't need a guide for every invocation, to be honest. You just need to read what it does. Because it gets pretty specific. Mostly Akkha are the only invocations I think need a little bit of explaining. Do you mainly stream on Twitch or YouTube? Yeah, I don't really stream too much on Twitch. For a little bit I did some multi-streaming and then I got too lazy to set it up, and I have like most of my community already here on YouTube anyway. And the YouTube community is really chill. If I'm BGS specking Obelisk P1 and I want to Karis, should I Adrenaline? Ideally you Adrenaline before you even BGS. Because you can BGS like twice and then still be able to Karis, sorry. Words escape me. Yeah, Glacies has a pretty good 5-to-1 Baba guide as well. How much spec is Karis on Adrenaline? It's 75% normal, so 37.5. Control, I feel like my hand is contorting. Get your pinky. Oh, I don't even use my pinky. I kind of like use the palm of my left hand and kind of like just push down with my entire hand itself. I know people usually use pinky for shift, but I think control's too far. Yeah, I just slam my hand like a fucking brute onto my keyboard. Not really slam, but you know, I just press down. How far in Invocations would you push with without Sun, Karis, no Shadow? Probably just 400. 400 is pretty chill. I have a pretty popular 400 guide in comparison to my other videos. If you want to see what it's like, it does have a Sun Cares in it, but I actually don't spec with it a single time in the video because I actually end up not needing it. Oh, eggs. Interesting. Never had eggs twice. I guess we just proc. See how this goes. I might die doing this technique, but I want to test it out for science. I proc now. This is where it gets dangerous. Yeah, I greeted on the soldier. I have an idea here, but it sucks because I got chomped by the melee because I didn't pray melee fast enough. I think it was worth. I wanted to learn something. I think the idea is there. To learn them. So that would have worked. There's a very specific scenario I'm planning on using that for in like faster raids. Well, I've never seen the double egg in my life. Normally it just eggs once and then it tries to dung there. Egg died on the dung line. Oh, that sucks. That would explain it though. I think we can lure this guy down like this. No. Didn't work the way I thought it would. Boomer switch. Oh! Mistakes were made. Alright. I hate doing this, but it's necessary. Head out. See you, man. Have a good night, doggo. When I start streaming? I think a year ago. Roughly about a year ago. Way to tick there. Since I'm a tick ahead. No, I think I get melee turn. Not worried. Dude, I keep clicking past a boulder. Oh, this is unfortunate. I got a 6-tick red X now. I hate 6-tick red X. Blood Fairy seems to be offline. Let's collaborate. I don't do duo raids. I only do solos. I think that's enough HP to survive. Yeah, that's about the time I expect with a 6-tick red X. Pretty slow. One for 3 minutes, Babas to 4 minutes. I suppose it's better than doing the whole monkey room again. And of the upcoming monkey room / Baba changes. Baba, yes. Lower damage is always nice. Although I think it's a little bit, these are kind of lazy fixes. Monkey room, like yes, no. I'm happy they're giving some more consistency. And I completely expected it to happen at some point, something like akin to like Lee's Berserker. But I'm not a fan of the way they scaled it in the slightest. Because it's not going to change based on invo. I feel like it should. The HPs feel too low is the problem that I have of it. The throwers, if I'm not mistaken, are going to have like 25 and 30 HP, which means you won't need to use piety or augury in the room. Everyone's going to camp Brigger because one-shotting with blowpipe is the most important, and blowpipe is the most important DPS there. Poke this guy. Hold on. Got some Swarming coming up. I'll explain more about my dot process behind it. I will elaborate. What? Drag me over there. Okay. We survived another day. So as I was saying, the monkey room changes. I feel like if you're... Oh, this is gonna be one of those fast ones where I'm gonna try out the thing where that's gonna kill me. And then we're gonna regret it. Yeah, I knew it. This thing is like really dangerous. I do want to explain why I tried that. If I wanted to play it safe, I would trap the ranger, but I wanted to try something different. I wonder if there's a way to pull it off more consistently. I'm trying to let that ranger, like, it's kind of weird to explain. I want it to like roam free because I don't have enough time to set up another dung. The Kephri method is so fast that you can't wait a third dung, but it being not worth it. So the idea is that I lure out the ranger to that spot. I still have the other one safe spotted, and then I have to kill the arcane and the soldier, and then this is like a normal ranger trap, except I play on the bottom side. I forgot which cardinal direction that is. And then I can step under the ranger whenever I want to redemption. But the thing is, it's really dangerous if you get chunked like that and you make a mistake early, because then the meller just bites you. But anyway, about the monkey room changes, to elaborate, I feel like if I'm, and I only want it to be for like really important for like high invo changes, like 400 to 500 plus. I think players should have to use piety to one-shot monsters, like the throwers, for example. And that's all I want. Like, oh, oops. Because in the current state that they're going to release the monkey room after the rebalance, you're not going to need piety at all. You're just going to camp rigger the entire room and still one-shot everything, and I think it's really boring. I think you should at least have to do some switches. And it shouldn't be like, and you'll camp rigger and do a one-way swap too. It won't even be like a four-way swap. I think like, let's say fangs max is like 45, right? I think a thrower's HP should have, well, 45 if like you have like mid-ish gear. I think a thrower should have like 45 HP exactly in like a 400, so that you have to equip your melee gear to at least one-shot it in piety. Or you can kind of like half-ass it and one-shot it with a god sword, which is less ticks. Or sorry, more ticks lost, but way easier. And I think that would make a lot of sense also for like people who have a BGS and stuff. You know, most people who do those invocations are using like a Bofa as their warding DPS. They're probably carrying a BGS anyway. And then in like a 150, it could scale down to where you just can do one-way swaps and not care. I think that would be very fair. Don't expect someone from a 150 or a 150er to do those swaps, but you should expect someone who's technically in an expert level raid to do it. Whoa, not a good spawn position. This is hot ass. I should probably do that before I die. Bruh. Very, very bad performance from Mr. Streamer. When a chain's coming out? They said sometime after Game Jam, so I'm gonna guess like 2 to 3 weeks. Would you know the best invocation to get the Sun Gem? I wouldn't personally. I mean, it's all the same drop rate, so technically technically, if you want the fastest sun gem, you should do like 150s or lower. But I wouldn't do that. I didn't stall this guy attack. I would probably just do like the best one you can already farm. So if you can do 300s without dying consistently, just do that. Or 400s, etc. Because you don't really need the sun gem until you're breaking into like the mid 400s. And for some players, the sun gem can make some bad habits, like not using defense reduction specs and focusing always on holding for sun / DPS checks. Play under the games besides OSRS? I am an enjoyer of most games, I would say. Played some Baldur's Gate recently, not like within the last few months, but in the last year, played some Baldur's Gate. Huge fan of co-op horde shooters in general, so Helldivers, of course, Darktide, that genre in general, Deep Rock Galactic, Vermintide. Somewhat decent enjoyer of some roguelites, but I haven't gotten into the genre too much, so like Risk of Rain 2 as well. I did not move as much as I thought I would. I must have cancelled my own action. Usually to stream OSRS, yeah. I mean, most of my YouTube videos are OSRS, so I only expect my audience to really be here for OSRS. Ow. Can't hit 23, right? I think she hits 22. Sure, I could consider that, using Twitch for the other games, but I don't really play the other games too much anyway. That was kind of a slow 5-1. What do you do at Kephri to shuffle out the scarab stack? Shuffle out the scarab stack. What do you mean by that? You mean like the agiles? Or something else? I'm not sure what your question means, unfortunately. Why not use Seercull and P3 Wardens? Just wasn't sure if it was a very worthwhile DPS increase. I'm doing it right now. Try it out. Because if I recall correctly, it doesn't really boost your DPS too much, and it's less DPS than a shadow hit. So I figured just doing shadows itself was probably about the same. But I don't really focus too much on shuffling the agiles, to be honest, because it's RNG where the brown eggs spawn. There probably is a method to consistently shuffle it out, but it's not that important. I don't really do it on purpose, if that's what you thought I was doing. give you a quick rundown of what I look for in when I red X. It's a pretty complex method. I don't really look for anything. I'm just feeling out my attack timing in particular to what Baba's doing. I would check with the pace spin guide in the video description. It'd be too hard to give you a quick rundown. The method's a little complex. Inconclusive. I'm pretty sure I could just do the math. I just haven't bothered. Didn't think it was that important of an increase. That's not the right one to go for. Botched 2 swarms, I think. Didn't set up any traps. Gaming. Worth to red X Baba in 250? No. Absolutely not. In a 250, Baba's practically healing you. The only thing I can say, I don't really know if this even would be worth it, Curry. You can just see where the agiles are leaning. If you have an agile on this side, then you can do this stung and go on this side. If they're all leaning on this side, then you can just play on the west side instead. If that makes sense. Because the west side, if you play on the west side of Kephri, you can dang them against here instead. When you get bounced on the left side. But, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I didn't hit. I guess that wasn't cool then. Might get double bounced here. It's just gonna shove me to the other side. Oh, never mind. Didn't stun me at all. Let's go. Because either way, there's gonna be some agiles. Yeah, this depending on your orientation. Yeah, definitely don't red X with a 4-tick weapon in case you're like an Iron Hood who doesn't have a fang. That would be really, really bad DPS. We'll actually be in Baba for like 7 minutes if you're doing a 400. And Red Xing without a Fang. Dung consistent? Yeah, Dung is consistent. Sometimes it'll stun you extra long, and that mostly happens when you're like proccing the next phase as she's already about to dung you, and that gets really annoying because then she'll, you know, double stun you. And if you get double stunned on a bad timing, you essentially, oh, nice. If you get double stunned on a bad timing, it'll potentially like stun you for so long that you get hit by the first stun, if that makes sense, the first stun line. And that's what causes you to like get shoved into some random ass quadrant. Not random, usually just the other one that you're not in, but... $250, you should have mostly boss invocations on. Soft core and a timer is fine too. I wouldn't recommend walk for it just yet. Or not walk for it, walk the path. Walk the path would be either going into 300 or even ideally, more ideally, sorry, 350. But if you're dying, it's probably just mechanical mistakes. The invocations aren't really gonna change too much on the bosses because they're usually just like additions, you know, to the boss. At some point, you're going to have to just assume these are going to be like your defaults going into every boss. It just might be you're not as practiced with the raid, you know? It is what it is. There's very few invocations that you would classify as wrong. I would say Quiet Prayers and Overly Draining, or Path Seeker / Finder / Master. Those are really the only wrong ones. Overlords, Double Trouble, and Keepback could also be considered potentially wrong if you're like, ow, so humble. Well, for 250 they're definitely wrong, but my ankles, dude. Well, thanks, just made me do a 12-way switch for absolutely nothing. Because I should be grateful that he went back to mage / melee. Oops. You see that? That is probably not the way to butterfly. I don't know about you, but I took a few melees there. Mr. Streamer making a mistake? No way. Oh, and Zebak first? That's rough. Dude, I swear I clicked protect melee. Very humble Akkha, meleeed me like 6 times and didn't switch. I was panicking to get the sun off so fast that I didn't even adrenaline for it. I hope I kill it. Nice. Yeah, there's plenty of room for being inefficient at ToA. Even if you're doing like a 40 timer, unless you're doing like a super challenge raid, like a 500 with a Bofa setup in 40 minutes, then overall that would be pretty bad. As long as you have timer off, you're chilling for most things. What? Game? Where'd my arrows go? Oh. Someone has yoinked my arrows. Wait. Alright, we can still clear. I was like, how am I gonna do P2? Alright, I'm just gonna have to blow pipe it. Where did my arrows go? Who stole it in my arrows? Shadow's going kind of hard right now, though. The reason I pulled out my Tbow, I was just wondering if it's like a Seercull glitch or something. I'm gonna have to accept the truth. When I died, I must have banked the arrows or something. Gonna be a miserable P2 and have to blow pipe it to death. How's it going? It's going alright. My quiver somehow lost its amethyst arrows, so I couldn't Seercull. Which is a little sad. My good luck jug. My bestie. give you water. Any tips on getting used to no help needed? Just don't need help. What are you having trouble with though? Just the full supplies. Shouldn't use that many supplies, honestly. That's a lot of Embro. You know, like you should be brewing early and saving the Embro for later, because your salts will only last so long. You'll have, you know, you'll have 2 doses of salts. Generally want to use one, you want to do Akkha first, and then you want to, because Akkha's the one where you'll have to brew. You won't need to brew at Zebak. And then you'll most likely have to brew at Wardens in the beginning. And then you can just use the Ambro at the end. That way you're never brewed down at the end of your salts. I heard the bomb somewhere. Oh, this is awful. P1 and P2. But yeah, if you 3 down, it's gonna suck. I personally did no help needed plus bandages to help with P1 and P2. To get bandages, you have to turn off on a diet. It's not a bad idea, honestly. You get so much effective HP. or 15. If you're doing a 3 down, I would actually tank the obelisk on this side and learn how to do the... So I actually did a video like three-ish days ago with the Akkha Kephri route. The Warden's a little bit different because you have to pray melee in between attacks because it'll walk up to you and try to hit you. But you'll get 2 ranged phases instead of 2 mage phases, which is much faster dealing with 2 ranged phases. And you'll probably take way less damage from that reason. The orb order also swaps over. Instead of getting 45-30'd, instead of doing 45-30-45. What was I trying to say? You'll get hit 30-45-30. Now that's important because 30-45-30 means you can like Ambro, and that'll let you tank 3 orbs instead of 2 orbs. Because if you get the 45-30-45 order, you actually end up not being able to tank 3 orbs from the rip. You can also learn to like take heat or take sun. Well, you wouldn't take sun because you said they don't have sun, but it's like the worst 540 I've done in a long time. Worth pushing past 400 if you don't have a shadow? Yeah, definitely is. But it's just more annoying. Depends on the player, like how skilled they are. Like if you have a both fang trident, you'll probably have to be like in the upper 25% of skill of those players to make it worth push pasting, but it is worth it. Two range phases is the reason, yeah. 2 range phases is huge. It's so much faster than 2 mage phases. My most recent video is a 445 Bofa Fang Trident. But you need a Sun Curse. But you don't have to flick throughout the whole raid. It's pretty chill. Hey Vicky Wiki, just letting you know that you can in fact SGS the Parasite for max heal on Crush. Let's go, dude. That's massive. Dude, the amount of sustain you get from that is crazy good. You can probably stay there forever. Am I able to 2 down without Light Bearer in a 400? I have absolutely no idea. Probably if you don't Sun P1. I'm gonna guess if you don't Sun P1 and you Depth Charge, yes. Assuming you use like a Berserker Ring instead. Because you would use 60% spec on your first one. You would most likely get at least 10% back, which would put you at 50 just from natural. And then you would get 15 back from Depth Charge, putting you back at 65. If you again don't use any, you know, like Sun Spectre to heal or anything, then you'll have like another like 5 DDS. I assume that's close enough. You also have the extra damage from like Berserker Ring and stuff. Probably need a good 4-tick weapon for that one hit that you do in the second down, like Void Waker or something. I'm sure it's possible. That would just be kind of annoying though, because you gotta start P1 with 100% spec. Well, not P1, sorry. You have to start the first core with 100% spec. So I'm sure you can use some of it in P1, just maybe like 1 DGS, maybe. Probably not. But if you are going to go for a 3 down, go for the Akkha Kephri route if you're ranging. So it doesn't take a million years. Voidwaker worth bringing with BGS? Yeah. If you have a Voidwaker, definitely bring it, unless you're doing overly draining. But because you added BGS as the context, you don't have overly draining probably. Thanks for help, good luck, purple. Thank you, man. Hello, lost her. Oh, there's a shadow hiding underneath the rock. Pretty slow raid. What's the music? Music is in the description. Tbow mix. Nothing. So dry already. A whole 2 raids. FAQ in the description. Nice, thank you very much. Thank you for taking the time to read. There's so many different questions for ToA because like it changes a lot based on your gear and shit. That is so hard to answer all the questions. Merchant's worth bringing, technically all the time. Maybe not if you're an Iron Man. It saves you so much time in the monkey room. It's mandatory for this kind of raid. Well, not mandatory. But if I don't want to lose like 2 minutes at Kephri, it's mandatory. Well, I guess it wouldn't be like 2 minutes. It'd be like 45 seconds. It'd be like a minute overall on the raid. Dude, what a noodle shadow. I didn't get either of those shamans. Crushing, disappointment, bargaining, acceptance. Usual. Stages of grief. Would you switch to blowpipe from webweaver? I mean, blowpipe's always better. Technically better, it's just kind of aids to use. Just getting back into the swing of things. You get a more efficient Kephri with a blowpipe too, when it comes to swarming. Not by a huge amount, but a decent amount. And it's kind of fun to do, so. The new Kephri, well, not new Kephri method. Enhanced Kephri method. Zero damage Baba, by the way. No ticks lost. Just a genius. Genius at his work, you know? I'm very proud of how far Baba's come. In solos, at least. Back in my day, we used to just full face tank. Now we do the same DPS, taking a 7 for the damage. I wonder what the actual ratio of health saved is. It's probably not a 7. Probably like a 4th to a 5th plus damage, but... Alright. And sweating. Let's see if we can get this swarm. My fang decided to stop working. Never mind, it's doomed. Yeah, not bad. If I hit bigger on the fang on the first time round, he would be dead. A little unfortunate my combat pot ran out before the Bone Dagger. Wanna proc yet? I'd tackle this room differently if I didn't have Blood Fury. Yeah, I would redemption a ton more at the end. I mean, it's the same other than having to redemption a lot more. I probably wouldn't do it just because that'd be a huge drain on supplies. I would try to not have more Overlords on, to be honest, if I didn't have Blood Fury. But if I did absolutely want to insist on having it on, I would do a no swarm method and just kill both rangers. Sorry, kill one ranger. And then trap the second ranger. Like if you look at my 445 video, that's how I would do it without a Blood Fury. The most recent 445 video. That's probably the way I would do it. If I insist on having Overlords on. Just... Go first, trap seconds, how I do my 540s. It's pretty good. These days I just do the swarm because it's quite a bit faster. Seems like roughly about 505 to 515 is the average for level 3 with that method. I think the first trap seconds probably about 530 something to 540 something, I guess. You want warm-ups buff at Akkha? You racing? No. We're chilling right now. No races. Taking my sweet ass time. Oh boy. Did I win? Alright. Ace him. Tried some HMT, can make it past Nilos. Aw. Was it a learning group? Or was it a brutal wipe at the boss? Of course I splashed on that one. I saw some questions about DPS check. Never see it in the chat because I can never scroll up fast enough. I'll read in a second and answer. Often to get DPS checked with Shadow. Currently these days, now that I've learned to transition a little bit better, and I don't lose as many ticks, probably like 1 in 10 at most. Probably less than that. Probably like 1 in 20. I know there's another question about DPS checks somewhere in there. And follow up, what is your opinion on removing DPS check and reworking it? I think DPS check is okay-ish because it's not a realistic problem for most people. I did 500s with Pathfinder with a Bofa, which isn't even that good DPS because Bofa is better. And I only failed 1 DPS check in like 4 hours of trying. Maybe like 2. But I wouldn't mind a rework, I guess. Does that make sense? Ow. Because I think fighting him in the same order of quadrants is kind of a little bit boring. Ow. I had an idea for an invocation called Daylight Savings, where you can attack like all of the shadows and you'll retain the damage. But instead of the hourglasses all being the same, how do I say it? Instead of all of the hourglasses having the same progress bar, they would actually be offset, like, you know, like daylight savings, like time zones. And you would basically like, but as a return, Akkha, you can then attack him in any quadrant you want. I can't remember what the full idea for the invocation was, but I think that would be a better, cool rework, where instead of fighting him in one quadrant at a time, you fight him in a bunch of different quadrants, always rotating around the map. Is your issues with the skip? Oops. Ow. I double clicked it. Yeah, I feel your DPS check isn't really a check if you can skip it. But if you remove it, people are gonna complain because you can skip it. People are gonna complain because, you know, they fail DPS check and skipping is the only way they can get around it. It's not so bad. I mean, one of the things that makes it so dangerous is specifically when you're in the fire and black quadrants, it just hurts so much. But if you're not in one of those quadrants, it's really not that bad. I'm sure that's how Jags designed it initially, is that you weren't supposed to be able to skip them. You would probably just go to either the yellow or the ice quadrants when you're about to fail, or if you're about to fail, because those are definitely the less damaging quadrants. But, you know, they screw you over in other ways. I wouldn't mind them tuning down the damage of the other quadrants, or maybe just removing the damage altogether on the lightning and ice quadrants. And making them just have the effect of turning off your prayer and stuff like that. The yellow one actually could probably keep the damage, the ice one could probably just have the damage removed. That you just lose ticks if you end up getting iced. I'm keeping this jug. I'm giving it back now. I didn't drop either of those. Whole game isn't unintended though, so that's not really an argument. Yeah, that is fair. But I don't know, I feel like it's always at the end of the day good for the developers to kind of have a hand in it though. If you leave only emergence gameplay, then that's what ends up happening is people find workarounds that ruin the intention of the raid. It's good to let it happen and then see if it's like worth balancing against. Like, I appreciate that they tried to nerf Butterfly, personally. I think it's kind of eh. Definitely breaks the whole playing with Akkha as a boss thing. I mean, of course it's up to the devs to balance it in an interesting way. And not just straight up nerf things to the ground or make it AIDS. Like, I would be a little disappointed if they... Because at the end of the day, everyone knows the mods don't have the same level of innovation and discovery and like knowledge of game mechanics as the actual players who do the content. If they only leave emergent gameplay, then, for example, we would have butterflied Soul and it would have been so cringe. I think that's a good example. Like, imagine they left Soul as butterflyable, then you wouldn't have to deal with the mechanics. I just wish they put the same effort into rebalancing ToA. Well, actually, I guess Soul's was the most brain dead. Would just give him more range on his attacks, but I already do bombs. I think I did. But I would have liked them to actually use the invocation system to the fullest potential. I wouldn't even mind, like, I know you guys, like, hate... The OSRS community despises, like, daily stuff. I would not mind invocations that are only available for, like, a week. Something that, like, It doesn't always have to be like a boon. It could be a buff too, you know. Like life will. Oh no, that would be boring. I was gonna say like imagine like life had like prayer enhance for a week, but that would be boring. Creates FOMO, yeah. As long as they like kept the base level version playable, I think it would be okay. $23, okay. Mass for the account. It would be good for business. I mean, technically there's always some FOMO in RuneScape. For example, his Spory and farm runs are your dailies. Leagues is FOMO, yeah. It is good for business. It has to be not like so mandatory though. Like nothing crazy like ToA is now double speed for a week, you know? It would just be like ToA is mildly more convenient to do, more fun for a week. It wouldn't be like a massive efficiency thing. Death's Cough for FOMO. Hold on, this is not the soundtrack I usually do. Trying to fix my playlist. Also trying to not die. I can't let YouTube autoplay for too long. Very high risk I'll get like copyrighted or something, so I have to be careful. I might just have to mute that one segment of the stream. I didn't notice it. It's because YouTube's playlist, although you put it on like shuffle and loops, sometimes it just doesn't want to do either. When it gets to the last song, it might just go to like autoplay. A little annoying. It has like mild FOMO. The only reason I was thinking about that idea was from like Helldivers. Sometimes they'll have like for a whole day you get to use a stratagem for free. But it's not exactly FOMO. It's people play the game regardless. Hello, could you make a level 500 KC with low gear? No shadow, no Tbow. I already have. I mean, if you were talking about a guide, I'm not really interested in doing a guide for that. But I've done it once already. I actually have a pretty recent video of me completing it within 40 minutes. It's like 39 something. Bofa and maracas. I love those maracas, dude. Actually with Karis but no butterfly. Oh, that's what I did too though. Well, I did red X. I did 5 to 1 because why would I not do 5 to 1? But yeah, I didn't butterfly in my 500 either with that setup. It's not necessary at all. I would be able to do no cares, but the only thing is I would have to turn off dehydration with the Bofa, and I would have to turn off timer, and that's so cringe because I'm not trying to be there for an hour and a half. Well, probably wouldn't be an hour and a half, probably with like hour and 5 minutes or something. I'm gonna hit by that one. I only do raids with 40 timers. Never purple. If I break a record for lowest combat level, no, I'm good. I only like doing things with 40 timer. I would absolutely not do lowest level. I'd be so bored. I don't like doing any challenge where I'm like not pushing for a time. Rebuild supplies tab. Don't worry, the runes are also another 1.5 bill. So 4.5. I don't know what's in this loot tab that makes it so expensive. 400 mil. There must be something here that I'm just leaving laying around. Yeah, whatever. Do I want to another one? It's 3 in the morning. I think I might call it a night and go to bed. I do need to wake up. Alright, so I went to work, went to sleep, woke up, stayed like 2 hours, and I was like, let's stream a little bit. But I think I have to go back to bed soon. Otherwise, I will be too tired for work. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good night.